And welcome back to Master of Command. So, what did we do last time around? Well, just to bring ourselves all to the same page, the 4th Brigade is now basically full, since we were able to pick up, I believe, 2 units last time around, which is the Prussian Fusiliers Charboy. Or I should say they were upgraded in between, I believe, last time. So now we have Prussian Fusiliers. That's going down the Grenadier route, so we're basically building a Grenadier Brigade here. And then we also picked up this Hanoverian Musketeers, which I'm going down this route to make Hanoverian Grenadiers. Now there's a lot of other things I guess I could have gone for, but I decided to go for the Hanoverian Grenadiers. No particular reason why, really. And then, yes, all we're looking for is now the cavalry unit. In between, I've spent a lot of the money to actually keep a lot of ammo and reservists and provisions and so on. And I also spent a load of money to buy better equipment for a lot of troops. Since I lose quite a lot of troops in battles, around 2,000. I've equipped even more now with the regimental staff chaplain, so now I have 4 units where 20% of the casualties will be restored. And as you can see now also, we have 2 units that are Prussian Life Guard, which is Soba Korn and Wyatt are both now Life Guard units. And I think that's it, really. Hopefully here, Ned will be moved to... he'll become a Freikorps Hussar. And then we'll see about getting those Dragoons. Now, I was hoping that one of these outposts would kind of pop up this way, but I'm not entirely sure they will. So, we might have to buy that next unit. With that said, let's start marching this way and see what we can find. Okay, so we've got a fort here. Sometimes forts are easy, sometimes forts are hard. I have never tried to Fallen Fortress. Search quickly, find 2 weapons, unlikely chance of the fort collapsing. We'll search, what? So if we search it extensively, there's a chance that we search the fort so hard that the entire fort comes collapsing down upon us and kills 5%. Given that I'm 13,000 men now in my army, that's 5% of the army. That's quite a lot of people being, you know, that we search it so hard. I'm not really in need of a load of weapons. Pretty good sword and pretty good musket, but not super needed here. The thing is, force can be either like you get into these long sieges. I'm a little bit hesitant marching this far from the road as of yet. We do have a lot of food. And, I mean, I don't really have anything to either sell nor buy because we don't have any money. We'll continue on here and then we'll head down to this outpost right here. So that will bring us up to then having completed 3 of these outposts. Unmanned outposts. So as we've reached an unmanned station. Garrison with few reservists. The enemy headquarters is delayed by 1 week. Garrisoned it with sufficient reservists, which is 1,000, which will delay the enemy 2 weeks. And then dismantle the outpost, which gives me 48 coin. I mean, 2 weeks extra. Spending 1,000 reservists on that, but we get 2 weeks. Right now we're about 40, I think 45 days left or so. Another 2 weeks, that's massive. And 1,000 reservists is not actually that costly, and I have plenty of them right now. So that pushes them back to... Now we have 56 days left. With those 2 extra weeks, do I dare march all the way down here to get this one? If I go too close to that one, will it trigger it to attack us? I'm also kind of like, will we have to fight all these 3 in succession, or is it just a big army that comes after us? I haven't really figured that out, because if I have to face all 3 armies coming after me in succession, then that could be rather dangerous, especially since quite large forces. We spent a lot of food walking out here. It should be sufficient to make it back, but something I didn't think about. We're using up a lot of it. Oh yeah, no, this was the one where we would send away either an officer or like the quartermaster. But I figure we do this because we get the cavalry unit. So we get our dragoons, but not only that, we got a Freikorps musketeer. Now the Freikorps musketeers will be put into reserve, and then we got these guys. Oh, they already have good weapons. I was about to put the new, or the weapon that we picked up from raiding the old castle. This one has charge. Mostly I don't charge. Do I? Right, now we have to make it back to here with the amount of food we're consuming. So 25. Will I actually make it back in time here? Ooh, we're probably gonna use up quite a lot. It wasn't actually that bad. We were progressing faster than I thought. But we spent... we spent about half the food marching that way. And we're down to 200 now. Now, I definitely have to sell some stuff to be able to afford advancing to the next area. We'll buy everything to make sure. Right. And from here then, it's battlefields now. So we got another 2 battlefields up here. At the same time, I want to buy an officer for the army, but I can't afford one, so we'll be heading this way then. A lot of marching. Oh, here's an army. Yes. This will hopefully give me enough cash to actually go into the town, buy food, but also get that officer for the 5th Brigade. And with that, let's go ahead and smash this small Russian force. And here we go, the battle is now underway. The idea is to make a line through the woods here, and then push on the right where I've placed the grenadiers, and then fold them up that way. I've gone ahead and put my horse artillery all the way up here, and I want to bounce the shots through this artillery unit and into the cavalry behind. Breaking down the enemy's cavalry is going to make it easy for my cavalry and this entire movement to go into play. We made a... Whoa! I did a lot of bloody damage on the enemy cannon. It is already kind of on the verge of retreating just from that. And we took out plenty of enemy cavalry units as well. We've got Charboy about to come into play here against the enemy. And then we have Majovsky moved in there. And then the Hanoverians, which have kind of come a little bit out of line there. I mean, that cannon unit will be sent away by this. And then you will be deployed there. Looks like they're making a line like that, so they're really playing into my flank. I'm gonna march into the fire here of Charboy, so he'll be able to avenge a little bit of the casualties he took. Let's go to normal speed here. If I continue to the next bombardment here, if that is just as successful as the first one, I'm pretty sure I'll send that bloody cannon unit away. Okay, so the second round of shots were not as effective. Right, I think the Hanoverians here will actually march in front of Majovsky and then move closer to get a good shot off on the enemy. And then I note their cavalry is moving quickly here on to the left. Right, so the enemy will fire. And as they do, these two units will advance. Oh, they're already bunching up for a potential cavalry charge there. They also have one cavalry unit coming in there, so we'll bring our cavalry up here as well. With that, line is holding everywhere. Wyatt has taken quite a few casualties. Should perhaps angle him a little bit. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys to halt. And now the charge is coming in towards Charboy. The new Bayreuth Dragoons are moving up. Oh, they snagged on to the Hanoverian Musketeers, which I guess is good because the Hanoverian Grenadiers need those points, and it looks like they're winning because the enemy unit there is suffering quite heavy casualties, and the Dragoons are about to off that unit entirely. Pretty sure it will be sent off. We can just recall my Dragoons. Oh yeah, they're we're gonna have to focus over here. Trying to recall the cavalry units. Continue on here and see about if we cannot keep this push up. I'm gonna tell the cannons to fire on their cavalry, and here comes the enemy cavalry marching through the woods. We'll get the hussars setting the flag. Okay, they're charging over here, which is good because then Lindstrom can move up and shoot in peace, as it were. They called in their charge very late and they're shattered even before it really takes place. And here I figure we just double charge to quickly rout them, and they're quickly routed. We'll see about allowing as many of these guys to escape the battlefield with their lives intact. Their army is about to break entirely. And the charge. Oh, there's some troops retreating through there. Yeah, everyone of their units kind of running at this point. We're just waiting for who is this guy rallied. Can I get you to fire there? Otherwise, we'll just kind of set the troops to avoid killing too many of the retreating enemies now, so that we take as many of them prisoners as possible. Sobakorn taking a hit, but he'll return one volley, I imagine, and then the enemy retreats. Let's just keep an eye. Oh, the cavalry is back. I'm pretty sure that unit will rout, though, once the infantry here routes, wouldn't it? There we go. Yeah, he decided not to stay. And within 10 minutes, we are victorious. No surprise, as the enemy army tried to avoid us. We gained about 600 gold. Lots of different things here, which should be good. And we lost about 1,700 men. I keep whatever the battle is, I keep losing about 2,000 men each battle, depending on even if it's a great victory or not. We always kind of take 2,000. And of the enemy force, we took 3,800 prisoners, which is about standard, kinda, in terms of that. Still 4,891 died. I'm thinking here I'm going for money and ammo, as I usually do. And then we'll just have to purchase the extra reservists and so on. Spent quite a lot on that. I guess I can actually reduce the amount of reservists in this unit and then push that into the regiments to get them to full strength, more or less. In terms of this, we got Ramrod, gives reload, and accuracy, which I guess I could push into one of these units, but I don't want to spend that much money right now because I want to see if we can get a good officer. So let's head on here. We still have, now I do think we have 30 days. What? Oh, god damn it. Did I misclick like that and take too much time? Let's see what kind of officers we can get. So there's plenty of officers here. There's 4 of them. And we can afford every single one of them. So this guy, what we're looking for is a Grenadier officer. Unyielding, morale damage received, but we're reduced in range, that's okay. Morale damage received, so a lot of this morale damage that we receive less of. And then movement speed to kind of combat the fact that we lost some here, but a chance of the officer dying is 5%. And then movement speed. So it's got movement speed and the fact that they don't take a lot of damage in terms of morale. This guy have fire by rank, which I don't think is necessarily that good for a grenadier unit or a grenadier or attacking brigade, because we want to release all fire directly, just straight into them as quickly as possible, and then go in for the charge, wouldn't you? Accuracy minus melee, that's obviously not artillery, and flanking damage. Movement speed and officer radius, and then we've got accuracy, cover efficiency, and reload. And I'm not entirely sure, none of them are really like super set for anyone. I figure even though this sort of is pretty good, I figure if I take the one with the least amount of the officer death chance, I don't like that, because he's since he's gonna be going straight into charges and stuff, he might die. I'm leaning though towards this just because this one has the least and I have more chance of actually implementing what I want with him. So we'll actually get him to be in charge of the Grenadiers, even though it's not that super good, I wouldn't say. In terms of the Ramrod, because that one's pretty good, accuracy and reload, I guess we'll push that one into or trade there to start with. You also have a pretty good ramrod. This one has... This one's better. So now you're almost up to 100 accuracy now. You reload. Now you do 3 shots a minute. That's good. And then we'll give the next ramrod just to this guy, just to push it in somewhere. And we do have these defenses, which I guess we could trade that in 25. Oh yeah, I said last episode that I wasn't gonna do this on camera, and yet I do this on camera right now. The new unit should have something. Tea rations, and that's about it. Right, I don't think there's anything more here, or perhaps I could... It's for the cavalry then, I would purchase something for the new cavalry unit, which should be a better sword, and a better horse. A horse for sure. To open up a new brigade would cost me, what? It cost me 2,400. So that's very unlikely. So at this point, I figured this is the army composition I'll have for the final battle, since there's about 30 days left. We'll just get... Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Alright, so kind of halfway through me talking about what I was doing, I realized last episode that I said I wasn't going to do that to save on time. What ended up happening is I added some different swords and stuff to different units, and then also the last artillery unit was upgraded, and I also decided to upgrade their cannon from an iron 6-pounder to a bronze 6-pounder, so it gains slight accuracy, range, and then also it reduces the reload by 5 seconds. It increases the range by 35 and the accuracy by 5%. So it makes that gun a little bit better. And then I think for the final bit here, we're going to spend the rest of the money on food, because we're going to travel quite a bit now for the next league of this journey. I guess I could have moved this way to get to the battlefield, but I figure it's better to go out along the road, and we have a slum that I guess we need to clear out that is over here. There's not that many days left until we are faced with the enemy. Actually giving up provisions for more reservists. I don't know if we're giving up how many days is that? We're giving up them 6 days of travel for 1400. But I did lose a lot in the battle, and it's always good to have reservists. I guess we go for that, even though I guess we'll be purchasing more of this. You know what? At this point, I'm very unlikely to try and pick up new units, so it's better than that we got that food. Perhaps I'm going too much on the food bit, but the last thing I want to do is starve. Do I want to face this one? We have what, 23 days left. We have 2 battlefields to visit. I guess we'll face these guys off, just because otherwise I'll just have to stand here and wait. I cannot like go if I go around them, or we'll have to fight them, because otherwise it takes too long. Right, this should be just as easy as the last fight, perhaps even easier now that my troops are even better than before. And so the battle is underway as before. I'm putting more heavy weight on the right side as we move forward. Now the artillery has been able to move up quite far, and again I'm gonna try and fire and bounce the shots through multiple units here, which I did. Very effective shot in the beginning, not as effective as last time. receiving quite a bit of counterfire here. What we're going to do is I'm actually going to have my Prussian Fusiliers and the Hanoverian go in first, fire, and then they'll pull back to have the Grenadiers attack right after. Meanwhile, goddammit, you're moving way too fast. Perhaps I should take a closer look at who moves very fast and who doesn't. Right. Meanwhile, you will move up on the flank. And these guys just fired. You should fire. Once the enemy goes ahead and fires off their shots, that's when I order my Grenadiers to advance. And I'm gonna switch target here for the cannons. This one's about to receive quite the devastating flank fire. Also, the lights should be up front. Meanwhile, I mean, they're leaving. They're focusing everything on this side, leaving this side open for my cavalry. I mean, they can't do much more. I figure though that I don't want that sort of heavy engagement on that side. Right, these guys are now moving to try and charge, which seems odd. Especially since my cavalry is on the way in here to shoot them down. Right, my cannons have done a lot of damage on the enemy cannon, or cavalry. Well, here they go. I figure my cavalry can just ride up, shoot them in the back, and we might be able to break them just like that. Actually, I don't want them to hit my sharpshooters, do I? So Lindström's dragoons suffered quite heavily due to that. Right, the enemy's cavalry coming around here. Not been able to execute my plan here as I was thinking. Right, keep up the advance then. Right now, my hussars is just sitting in a flank there. Right, they retreated before they even something went down. I'm gonna tell these guys to hold fire. Actually, switch fire to these. The hussars went in, the enemy got shattered. Recall them. Recall. And then we should have the infantry advance. Okay, we got a charge going in. And they were broken there, and they were broken there, and goddammit, keep advancing too far. There's no way these guys are gonna be able to do anything though. Yeah. And then finally here, the batteries will all converge on that. The Russian unit in the woods is about to be forced away. And as soon as those two units go, then the battle is over. There we go, that one's gone. And my artillery is striking this unit, hoping to force that away. Having the hussars shoot that unit and boom! There we go. The swamp army was defeated. 555 gold. We lost 1300 men. We gained a bunch of stuff. And I figured the veterancy for this one would be good, but at the same time, We don't have that much villages and stuff up here, and with this, we're certainly going to get into another fight at the battlefield, aren't we? The safest thing is to go for ransom, I figure. And let's see who gets upgraded. Quite a few units. Perhaps Ned can now become... No, he cannot become... You can be upgraded to Hanoverian Foot. And I don't think there was anyone else. The thing is, I think we'll advance towards the battlefield, but then I'll end the episode. So we'll just... No, make our way... Not as good as I thought I was. Right, I'm not interested in fighting you. I'm interested in this battlefield out here. Oh, I need another 3 battlefields. I didn't realize it was that much. 7 days for a infantry regiment, or spend provisions for just 2 days. Guess we do that. Cantonist recruits. So we need another 2 battlefields. The thing is, they will start marching within, what, less than 20 days. I'm pretty sure I have enough time. Right, oh, actually, screw... what I can do is I can burn down this village. Food is expensive here. So perhaps not. And wasting that time. Let's just head out to this battlefield, see what we got here. If there's something easy. Sir, among the thickets east of the field, our scout has discovered a wounded officer, evidently left behind in our allies' retreat. His uniform is bearing suggest a man of rank. Moderate chance. Get the bone saw. Moderate chance of getting... should we hack something off him? Did I get an officer? I guess he died. But we cleared the battlefield. We've had quite success here in clearing away the battlefields. Now we just need the last one, and we're not that many days off till the enemy comes hunting for us. Right. Why did I stop? I don't need to stop here right now. What I will do, though, is we'll replenish. And then we'll head on to the last battlefield. If this only is an easy thing and not a battle, then I'll just go ahead and resolve that. Last stands. Suffer attrition. Charge into battle. Field a tough enemy field army. Right, abandon. Ooh, okay. Suffer attrition, that's not good. 15%. Unlikely chance of retrieving a... or face a... Why can I not abandon them and come back? Why can I not abandon and just come back? Because that's kind of what I want to do. I figure here before this episode, I do not have the time here to fight a tough field army. I'll guess we'll leave this one as a cliffhanger, and I'll have to go straight into the next episode right as I do this. Right, so yeah, we'll have to end it right here. I think I've already spent enough time for this episode, but I'll be recording this next one right afterwards. And so I will be saying, like I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.